Well, my most anticipated movie of 2018 is here, Avengers: Infinity War. It was a close pick between this and Sergeant Stubby, An American Hero. Avengers: Infinity War is directed by the Russo brothers and tells the story of Thanos, a character that's been built up over plenty of movies throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now he has the Infinity Gauntlet and he is looking for the 6 Infinity Stones. And it's up to the Avengers and non-Avenger members to defend Earth and save everybody from Thanos and getting all 6 Infinity Stones. I gotta give it up to the Russo brothers because they have a very daunting task of taking many Marvel characters and bringing them all into one movie. A really big cinematic experience that's been built up for 10 years now, and it is a very daunting task, and I think that the Russo brothers nailed this movie. This movie shattered my expectations. This is an emotional film. It is a hilarious film. It's a very exhilarating film. It is a movie that hits the nail on so many moments. One thing I gotta praise about the Russo brothers is that they take all these different Marvel characters, ones that we've loved for 10 years now, like Iron Man, and ones we've just been introduced to in Black Panther, and brings them all into one movie. And even though some of them don't get as much screen time as other characters, and you wish that some characters would get a little more screen time, you feel as though their presence is very important. Some might have just a minute of screen time, but you feel their importance is there. They're there to do one thing. It might not be hand-to-hand combat with Thanos, but you definitely feel their presence and the importance for them being there. And that's one thing I think the Russo brothers did so well, is bringing these characters into one movie and having them have an important role. Because Thanos is a very intimidating villain. He is easily my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe villain. He wants the Infinity Stones and he will stop at nothing to get these Infinity Stones, and he is a very intimidating villain. He means business. Within the first 10 minutes of the movie, you know he's going to be a bigger, badder villain than any other Marvel villain that they've had. And what I found interesting about Thanos, played by Josh Brolin, is that he also has emotions that I wasn't expecting. They really went deep into his emotions and the reasons for him getting the Infinity Stones and wanting to reshape the world. And I really loved the character of Thanos. I loved learning about his past and his feelings for what he was doing. So I think that the Russo brothers did a great job of exploring that part of Thanos. Now there's so many Marvel characters in here, and the Russo brothers took each part of that character that works so well and put it into this movie. Like Peter Quill, how he has a lot of comedic moments, and how Peter Parker is just a child still. They took the best parts of each of these characters and brought it full fold into this movie and just placed them in a room with other characters. And I was really excited for that. I was excited to see how Thor would interact with the Guardians of the Galaxy, or how Iron Man would interact with Doctor Strange. And a lot of them paired really nicely together. I would not expect Thor to work so well with the Guardians of the Galaxy, or Doctor Strange to work so well with Iron Man. There's so many characters that have never been in the same movie together, and when they're together in the same room, yeah, it's hard to understand them at first and kind of build up that relationship. But once they spend more time together, going on different journeys to find things that they could feat against Thanos, and they developed this really awesome relationship. So seeing all these different characters that have been in different movies for 10 years now, seeing them together was one of the best experiences of this year. I also wasn't surprised to have so many emotions in this movie. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody because I'm not that person, but there's so many emotions that really just tested me and tested the movie as well, and was a risky move for this movie from the Russo brothers to have so much emotions, because you just felt connected with the movie, and it added another level to this movie, because I thought this movie would just be fun, it'd be exciting, it'd be action-packed, it'd be hilarious, but I wasn't expecting another level to it and that would be all the emotions involved with this film. And speaking of jokes as well, this movie is probably one of the funniest movies I have seen in a while. Yes, the Guardians movie is funny, but the Guardians movie is just funny with the Guardians, and Thor is funny with just Thor. But when you get Thor and the Guardians together, and Doctor Strange and Iron Man and Peter Parker with his pop culture references, the jokes do come out and they don't feel awkward at all. They feel nicely placed, because way back with Iron Man, there was jokes in that movie as well. So it's not something new for the Marvel fans to see jokes placed in a Marvel movie. These jokes definitely do work, and a lot of them are hilarious, and I laughed out loud more than I have in any other Marvel film. Marvel's Avengers Infinity War is a really awesome movie. It's shattered my expectations. It's an emotional film. It's very entertaining. I loved all of the Marvel characters into one film. I love seeing all the characters like Captain America, Winter Soldier, Black Panther, going back to Wakanda. There's so many things about this movie that I enjoyed, and it leads to one of my issues with this movie. And it's not like a big issue, but there's so much going on and so many characters together as a group doing something that you honestly forget about a group of characters doing something else. Towards the end of the movie, I felt that as there was two different scenes going on. One group was doing something, one group was doing something else, and I totally forgot about the one group that was doing something, which had a lot of the Avengers members, and what they were doing, not spoiling enough for anybody, but what they were doing, I totally forgot about it all, because the one scene that I was really involved in was so cool. It was so action-packed, and I just loved it. I totally forgot about the other sequence. And that could be an issue for some people, is that there's so much going on that you could forget about one certain sequence. But that didn't take away from me enjoying the movie. Infinity War is the best movie I've seen this year, and I can't wait to rank it in the future with all 19 Marvel films. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and give Marvel's Infinity War an A+. Definitely go see this movie. It's a very long movie, and sometimes it does feel a little long, but it is a cinematic experience that you have to see on the big screen. It takes everything you've loved about all of the Marvel characters and place them into one movie and butted heads with the characters and had fun with it. You guys will not be disappointed. It is an amazing film. So stay tuned this week, and I'll be ranking all 19 Marvel films as well. You guys know how I already stand on the Iron Man films, but one thing real quick, I absolutely loved Iron Man in this movie, and I always loved seeing how his suits change throughout the movies, and this is by far his coolest suit ever. So I'll be ranking that this weekend. Stay tuned for that video as well. You guys are the best as always. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you guys like movie reviews like this, trailer reactions, ranking videos, and of course, free Funko Pops, make sure to consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that bell notification down below. You guys are the best as always. This is Just Watch Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.